Hi, my name is Kendall Morano. I'm a Beacon member since 2017, 2016, when my middle child was born. I am active in the RE program with my three girls, Maya, Naomi, Maya, and Lisa, oldest to youngest. And I am also active in the Widening the Circle committee as a co-lead with Janet Roberts and George Faison. My coworker, actually, around the time that when I was pregnant with my second daughter, I was talking to a coworker about wanting some sort of moral guidance for my kids, but not wanting to go to strictly Christianity because my mom had been raised Southern Baptist and I had a little flavor of it when I was a kid and didn't think that was right for me and my family. And a coworker grew up UU and was telling me about her experience learning about all the major religions and being encouraged to question and search for her own sense of meaning in the religions, and build her faith based on what her own morals and values were. And I just thought that was incredible. So I Googled it and checked it out, and Summit appeared. This past year has been great, especially as we're going back into more in-person gatherings. There's so many things now, so many opportunities that we've actually been able to do in person, which I didn't realize how much I missed it until we started doing it. We did the leadership retreat back in September, all outdoors, but with 30 Beacon leaders across multiple communities and groups in Beacon, learning and growing together, and leadership activities such as social location, figuring out where we are, community building, and fostering a sense of community among our groups. We started to do some things on conflict resolution, and learning about where Beacon stands as an anti-racist organization and how we can further that in our groups. We've also started Common Read, which is great because we're getting small groups together to discuss the Mistakes and Miracles book about how to become an anti-racist organization and congregation. And that's been fun because we get groups of people in person, and we also are able to do multi-format. So we've had a few people join in from Zoom and make this really interesting experience work from in person and also virtually. And then for my daughters, my middle child is in first grade, so they actually brought back OWL this year. It was perfect timing. It's in person. She's meeting with kids outside of the service that we attend, the early 9:30 service, and she's meeting kids across who come to the 11 o'clock service. So it's a great opportunity for her to learn about herself and also meet other kids in the congregation. Thule did organize a really nice afternoon tea with our coach on becoming an anti-racist congregation, Julica Herman de la Fuente, and that was just a lovely afternoon. We had tea, she shared some poetry, we shared stories, and it was just incredible, the experience meeting with other BIPOC members, global majority members of Beacon, and having ways to kind of share stories and build relationships outside of services. I personally feel excited and committed to coming more. Having that sort of absence over the past few years, it made me realize how much I miss it, and actually coming back and experiencing the communities and talking with people face to face. I thought I was one of those people that thought I was doing fine. Thought I could get away with doing everything virtually, and it didn't actually dawn on me how much I enjoyed being back in person until recently, when we were we were having our last book discussion, and there was just a variety of people in the room, and all of a sudden it felt like this is a space where I can have conversations and feel safe and like be in community with people. Didn't realize how much I wasn't getting that and how much I missed it. I think my girls were like me in that they didn't think they needed to see other people. They thought they were doing just fine, like I thought I was doing just fine. And maybe it's our family culture. But I've noticed that, especially Maya, my middle child, who's coming to Beacon more often for OWL, the way she interacts with people is different now. So she hasn't said expressly like, I love being in person or I love going to Beacon for OWL, but I noticed that she is less likely to turn to me for like reassurance. She jumps into conversations with the kids at Beacon and she's having fun. As a parent, it just feels really good to see that, to see her gaining her interpersonal skills again. We're getting to a point within the groups that we can joke and share stories, and we're not there kind of putting on that mask and trying to be perfect and trying to say the right thing all the time. Fun in that I can start to let that slip and be more of my authentic self. It kind of feels cliche, but yeah, fun in like this actually feels like Beacon used to feel like a place where I was a guest, but now I can go through Beacon halls and feel like this is a space it's my space, just like it's any other Beacon member's space. Yeah, the quiz show video was a lot of fun. It was an effort to try and make learning or telling about the Article 2 vote and revisions in 2023 interesting, because it could have been just a reading off of facts and hoping that some of them stick. Also, I felt like sometimes I talk in a really monotone voice, so I would put people to sleep. But the quiz show was a way to intersperse facts with really silly thoughts and ideas and get some fellow Widening the Circle members to be in on it. I'm glad it worked out. I'm really glad it worked out. It was a little bit of a risk and gamble. It's really interesting to have conversations with members of Beacon who are really interested and genuinely willing to kind of learn about how to become anti-racist and put things into practice, and are hungry for more information and training. Those are hard conversations to have outside, in work, in other professional spaces, or even just, other parents around the playground. Those are not typical conversations, but the fact that you can get into them here at Beacon, it just goes to show you how engaged everyone is, and how Beacon as a community is really trying to walk the walk and talk the talk. We put a lot of effort out there in the world, and we're taking the time to also do the reflection inwardly, which is awesome.